Beautiful. Well, thank you everybody for being so patient and being on time today. This is the 40K to 400K Shopify formula workshop, and a lot of new faces today, which is awesome. These sessions are all about showing everybody how we help other Aussie-based e-commerce brands go from anywhere from scratch, no product, to 40K per month, to even all the way up to 400K per month with their business. And a couple things that I really just want to go over quickly, although you've already been such a good audience with us so far. And the first bit is going to be to just try and lock away the next 60 minutes or so. So dependent on how interactive the audience is, these can go up to about 60 to 70 minutes. But if you can put away that much time, remove as many distractions as possible, you'll get the most out of the session with us today. Secondly, already a lot of webcams on, which is really awesome. If you can turn your webcam on and it's not already, please do so. It just helps when we do a little interaction with the audience, makes it a better experience for us. And lastly, everybody already is, so I'm not even going to really bother with this bit. But look, there is a chat function. We're going to be asking a lot of questions throughout, so just keep using the chat as you all are all already are. We're going to ask a couple questions throughout from everybody, so then you can kind of answer, and then we might bring a couple of you up throughout the session. So a few goals that I really want to achieve today for everybody. I want you to walk away with a few things. And the first one is going to be all about really focusing on how to turn browsers into buyers for your business or the business that you're trying to create. And what I'm talking about when I say this is it's all about conversion rate and conversion rate optimization. So conversion rate is simply, say you have a website and 100 people go to your website and one purchases from you. That is a 1% conversion rate. Whereas if you had 100 visitors and you had 5 people purchase, that's a 5% conversion rate. So something we're very big on is helping people who are building their businesses to create websites with high conversion rates. That way you can be very profitable as you grow, which is super important to small businesses. And the second part is, I know a few people here are already running businesses that already have traffic going to their website, and maybe things aren't quite working out so well. Maybe you're even engaging someone to run your ads for you, and it's not getting the results that you quite need to really scale. So we're going to have a look at what's happening in your business right now with a couple people today, and we're going to figure out what's not working, why aren't you getting the results you're after, and what needs to change in order to start seeing those results. So we're actually going to grab a couple people up and audit their websites live. And lastly, I want everyone to kind of follow along with what we do today and try and think of it for yourself, for your business and your plan on what do you need to focus on over the next 90, 180, 270, and 360 days. So you can leave today's session with a solid plan where you understand what it is you have to do to start growing your e-commerce business. And usually when I tell people about these workshops beforehand, I get a couple of questions, and really what people want to know is what we go through today on today's session. Is it going to actually be useful for you? And when people ask this, it's kind of, there's a couple sub things, sub questions that they're really thinking of. For example, they're thinking, is what you teach today going to be relevant to the product that I want to sell? So some people drop ship, some people make their own products. There's a very wide range of products that you can sell. And I just want to be very clear that as long as you are in e-commerce, as long as you are selling products online, what we go through today is going to be relevant to you. We've worked with just about every niche you could possibly think of and applied our strategies towards them. Secondly, people want to know, I might just be a beginner, or I might be someone who's already scaling my business. Very different backgrounds, but you want to know, is what we go through today going to be relevant to your size? And just to be very clear, we work with both types of brands that are just starting and brands that are scaling. The only difference is that when we work with brands that are scaling to six-figure months, it is more that we are optimizing certain things. Whereas where we are teaching those who are just starting, we are teaching you the fundamentals of those strategies. So that's kind of how we work with both. But it doesn't matter where you are in that spectrum, what we go through today will be relevant for you. And lastly, is what we go through relevant today in 2026 and will be relevant next year and the year after? And what I want to really just clarify is everything that we teach you today is directly derived from the results that we get with the hundreds of brands that we work with behind the scenes. So yes, if we're teaching it today, next week, next month, next year, it's going to be relevant every single time because it's constantly backed up with the results that we get with the brands that we are working with. So a couple of people who we usually get the best results for when we share this information, typically it's going to be somebody who is very passionate about why they are doing this. And that can come through from a different couple areas. Some people are just really keen to run a business. They've never run a business for themselves and they've always wanted to give it a shot, or they just love building businesses. Maybe you're somebody who you just have a product that you really love and you want to figure out how to get it out there as much as possible. Or you might be somebody who maybe you're just building a business so you can kind of leave a legacy to your kids or whatever it may be moving forward. Whatever it is, as long as you understand why you're doing this and that you do want to do this, then you're someone who we can definitely help. Another type of person that we consistently run into are people who they kind of get into e-commerce, not really understand how many different moving parts that there actually are. It can feel very overwhelming. And really what we want to do is kind of make that noise go away, get it very clear and tell you what exactly that you need to be focusing on step by step so you can kind of overcome that overwhelm as you build your business. And lastly, if we're being very honest, everybody who gets into these businesses typically want to run a profitable business. They want to get paid at the end of the day. So for us, it's really important when we help people build their businesses that you're not just paying the ATO, your staff, your wages, your ad costs, etc. There's actually money at the end of the month left for you so you can build the lifestyle that you actually want. And I appreciate everyone being patient as I go through this as quickly as possible for everybody here. But I'm going to actually introduce Paul quickly, who, when you registered, you would have seen Paul everywhere in the videos. But Paul is actually the CEO of our two businesses. So Paul, maybe give them a couple of reasons why they should spend the next hour or so with us.
Yeah, for sure. So, so first off, guys, thanks again for jumping on your Wednesday afternoon here. We've been doing this for a while now, so it's always good to see new faces. I'll give you the short version. So I've been in e-commerce since 1997. So all the way back when things like Shopify didn't exist. Computers barely existed. Used to use a 14.4K modem back then to get on the internet. So for those of you that are as old as me, you remember the 400 dial-ups that you had to make just to be able to use the internet. So, but yeah, back then I was a massive computer nerd and I stumbled into computers and I realized that a good way to get computer stuff at a really good price was to start an e-commerce store. So I started a brand called Wacom. And I would go to swap meets. I would buy computer parts. I'd sell them to my friends and family. And I had an A-frame sign outside mum and dad's house so people would drive past and I would sell them CD burners and everything you can imagine. So over the course of the next 15 years, I built that business. And by the time I'd sold it, we probably did $40 million worth of sales. I sold it in 2014 to an ASX company. And then I exited the brand. That company is all now owned by Harris Technology. They've been around for forever and a day. So one thing that I did whilst I built that brand was I was the developer and the coder for that technology stack for that brand. So I spent millions of my own money building that stuff. And I launched the company called Insiteful, which basically existed to build the tech for that brand. So we could do ordering and we could do, it had everything in there. I manage all the orders, manage all the fulfillment, manage all the marketing and everything. So when I sold that brand though, I pivoted my Insiteful brand into a company that did fractional marketing for about 10 other brands. So I was working for lots of different, very big brands and so forth back then. Again, I pivoted the Insiteful brand to a full Shopify development company, probably about 6 years ago, something like that. That brand now builds over 100 Shopify sites a year using our converter kit and using the stuff that I'm going to teach you on here. Something that kind of kept coming up all the time for myself and Chris McQueen, who joined me 4 years ago, Chris, 5 years ago. How long has it been? It says 45 years ago or something now. But
6 years ago now?
6 years ago, geez.
5 years?
Need to
2021, whatever that was.
Celebrate our anniversary soon. So anyway, but a lot of people would come to us and they go, hey, I need help growing my Shopify brand. So probably 2 years ago, now Chris goes, why don't we start a coaching community? I said, why not? So along came the eCommerce Circle coaching community. So now we work with brand new brands all the way to 8-figure brands. I checked yesterday, we have nearly 430 people in that private community now. So just for context, a lot of you are inside of our Shopify Australia Facebook group. That's the free group, right? We take people from that group that find us and meet us and discover us in there. And when the timing is right for you, we go, hey, we invite you to come and join the eCommerce Circle community where we do 8 calls a week. We have heaps of coaches. We have amazing people. And we help you build killer ecom brands. So we're going to talk to you tonight about how we do some amazing work together going forward. But as per Chris's slide that he's sharing here, I pride myself on the fact that I can help people build amazing teams. I help people verify very quickly if they're actually even selling the right product. I help them sell more of the right product. It's very important that you sell products that are profitable, not just like vanity metrics, right? So, as per what Chris said, you don't want to sell products that the only person that gets rich is your employees in the ATO. So, we do a lot of that stuff. I'm also very passionate about teaching people how to implement systems into their e-commerce businesses as well, because most people just like rock up at their desk every day and I'll go off, flick a few buttons and pray and hope for the best, right? So a big part of why I do this as well is because I've got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old and a loving partner. And I think it's very important that I teach other people, and I get not everyone has kids yet. Some people have 3 cats and 9 dogs, or they're retired and they're a grandma or whatever. But I think it's very important that you learn how to build an ecom brand properly so that you actually have way more time to spend with doing the stuff that's like not behind a computer in your spare time. So that's what I'm really passionate about, especially after I've dealt with heaps of monster corporate brands, and a lot of them can be interesting to deal with. So I will say a large part of our audience these days is like the mum and dad brand, and Nana doing her thing, the young person having a crack at their first ecom brand. So hope you get a ton of good advice out of tonight, and I'll throw back to Chris.
Awesome. Thanks for that. And yeah, honestly, like I guess the reason we go through all this is just to show you that everything that we preach here, we practice every single day. It's a big part of what we do. And I just want to run you through some examples of case studies for other brands that we've worked with that we've done some great work with, and you might find similarities with them with yourself. So this is Liz, who when she came to us, she was running a business called Industrial Shed, and they were doing about 40 grand a month in sales. So they already had a bit of traction, but they're in a very tough market, and they knew they wanted to scale aggressively. And we said there's a couple of things you really need to focus on, and that's going to be your website. It needs to be built to convert. Your brand messaging needs to be very clear, and you need a very strong digital strategy on how you're going to get traffic to that website moving forward. And yeah, we're able to help her achieve all these things too. Now her previous last month was, I think she did, well, as it says here, 260K. So over the last 12 months, she's had some pretty incredible growth for her business. And then even people like Paul and Delane, who they run Nature's Pantry, they were just a couple who had this awesome product. It's basically like a protein supplement, but they used to do a lot of markets. And a lot of people we speak to are kind of on that market hustle as well. And the good thing about that is it means you have a product that people like. But the trouble is, how do you scale it from there? So they were able to scratch about 15K per month just doing that. But they got in touch with us because they wanted to go online. So again, we helped them create that high converting website, get that really clear brand messaging, and then from there get digital traffic to it every single month to the point where that business is now doing. I think the last month was 130,000. So they're doing pretty good numbers. They're very happy with it and the lifestyle that they're building. And all these websites, by the way, the teams they might be linking it below in the chat, so you can go look at the websites. They're all real. Just want everyone to be able to see that if possible. And then we even have people, for example, Karen here, who on the left, when she joined us, she admittedly was not a techie person. She was in her late 60s, and she had this lovely business where she would actually paint teacups. So she would do, I think it was tarot readings, and then she would actually paint teacups as well in that theme and then sell them online. And she was doing it on Etsy, doing okay, a couple grand a month, but she knew she had to get into Shopify and she needed a lot of help doing that. So again, she got in contact with us. We really helped her create that online presence, that really clear branding, and how to get traffic towards that website moving forward to the point where she was having 20K months just previously, which is pretty awesome. And then also someone else like Jade, who, if you think you're time poor, then you need to hear about Jade, because Jade, and she still does work a full-time job. She has 2 kids. She's a full-time parent, but also a full-time employee. And she still wanted to build this e-commerce business. Now, when she came to us, she came to one of these calls about, just over 12 months ago, and she had no product at all. She just knew she wanted to do this. And so we just gave her a bit of a framework in terms of how to pick a good product that's right for her. And then just gave her these are the steps you need to do. So every moment that you do put into your business, because you are so busy, is going to be effective. And last time we caught up, she was doing now 40K per month in her business. And she's still working full time. She has no intention of ever quitting her job. She's just building a nice business that's nice and easy for her to run, a very lean team. And yeah, she's loving that. And we'll see where we can go with her in the future. And even someone like Leah, who she runs Sons of Collective, sells these amazing bags. She came to us. She already had the product. She knew it was great for the market. They had a solution. A couple of friends that had tried it already loved it. And she was like, I just need to get this thing going online as soon as possible. So again, we got that awesome product. We helped to create that high converting website, that clear brand messaging, and then from there, it's just about how do we get traffic there as much as possible while you can still be profitable every single month. And now I think she did a 10K month most likely recently, and now she's going faster every single month. She's going to be scaling this thing in the next few months. So some really awesome case studies, and the reason we share them is because it's no. It's no secret that we want everyone here to eventually be one of those next case studies on there. So we've got a bit of an unhidden agenda, we call it. I did speak to you, a few of you already about this, but I'm going to ask guys in the comments if you're okay that at the end of this session, if we gave you all the value and everything, that we actually share with you how you can continue to get our support. I just want to know, is that okay with you? Can you leave a yes in chat if that is fine, that we share that on how you can work with us moving forward at the end of this call after we've gone through everything? Just let me know. Sorry, I can't really open chat. Oh,
lots of yeses, Chris.
Lots of yeses. That's good. Lovely. I really appreciate an interactive crowd. It makes these sessions so much better when everyone's kind of getting a bit of back and forth. Now, I want to quickly go over something. This is going to help us get very specific with the kind of feedback that we give you, because there is quite a broad range of businesses, I think, here today, but we'll double check that. So if you're comfortable with it, please share with me, whereabouts are you in your journey right now? You'll see we have 4 stages: your startup, setup, grow up, scale up. And you'll see the revenue that's attached. Maybe you haven't even got a product yet, you haven't made any sales, or you just got a couple sales, so you're a startup, maybe you've got a bit of traction, you're a setup, or you're in that grow up or scale up phase. Let me know just that way, so when we give you a bit of feedback, we can understand roughly where our audience size is. So we got Audrey as a scale up, we got a Paula startup, Jeff startup, Ryan 1 for startup, still looking for a product, completely fine. Evan half, don't know what half means. Startup, 2 years, no sales. That's all right, no problem. Cool. So a bit of a mix there. Awesome. Now, when we kind of show people those results that I went through before, a lot of the time people kind of just say that either we're getting lucky with some brands, and don't get me wrong, some brands have such a good product that they do get a little bit lucky. But when you do this over and over again on different brands, different industries, and you still get success when you build these brands, it comes down to the fact that we have a system. And we're going to quickly go through what that system is. And then once we've gone through it, we're actually going to Paul's going to pick a couple businesses that you've linked, and we're going to actually get you up as a guest, and we're going to show you how to apply our system to your business to show you how to grow it. So Paul, pick a couple while I go through these.
Yes.
Is the more orders model. So this is our system, everybody, that no matter who you are, what size you are, say you might already be doing 100K per month and you want to get to 500K per month, or maybe you're just starting a business from scratch and you want to do it properly from the get-go. This is how we attack business growth, is following these 4 main pillars. So you'll see it's stock, story, store, and strategy. And it's in a very specific order, and we'll go through why in a little bit, but I'll explain each step. So stock is all about your product. Now, the product could be as much as, is it a quality product? Can you actually get it in supply? Can you get good product, profit margins for it? Is it going to end up in the bin in 2 weeks? Is it actually quality? Does it have a high AOV? Are there ways that you can get people to buy more from you? All these things need to be really nailed. And it's a really big thing that we teach people who are just building a business from the start is when you are trying to find a product that's right for you, if you haven't already got one, is really looking down to the, does this product interest you? Do you have some sort of authority in it? Do you know about the product? Is there something that you can bring that, no one else can if they were to just go select a random product? And we did this, for example, with Jade. So Jade is a physiotherapist, and we pushed her down towards, go through, so we'll just get that on mute. We pushed her down the route of pick a product where you can come in and be an authority if possible, because it's going to be so much easier for you to build a business from there. And absolutely, she did go down that pathway, and that's why she's killing it right now. And if possible, we always push people towards building a business from an area of passion or previous authority, which is again, this is one of the best ways you can do it. And then once you have that product, one of the most important things that is overlooked is understanding how to connect with your audience in a way where, say, you're selling, I don't know, just toothbrushes, where Kmart couldn't just down the track, or Temu couldn't just down the track come and find the product that's working and sell it for less and spend more on ads, because there's no actual brand identity. So what we help people really do is nail that story part of the business. That's your brand messaging. And what that really does is it's the actual words that go everywhere on your website that answers the who we are, the what we do, and why you should be buying from us and not anybody else. And that's a really core bit of how we build people's businesses. And once you have that story, then the next bit is now we need the store. We need the website that's going to have a high conversion rate. It's going to be easy for people to use. It's going to be actually built to convert. So when anybody lands on your website, they know where to go, they know what to do. It's very easy to buy from you. Now, these things are so important put together because if you're a small Aussie business, you're somebody likely who doesn't just have money to throw away and hope that that you're actually profitable off the get-go. Otherwise, you can just change and optimize your systems. No, we want to make sure that we build these things first before we then go spend money on traffic. That way, we can make sure we're running profitable ads and you have money to reinvest month after month so you can grow your business steadily. That's called sustainable growth, and it's super important for just about everybody that we work with. Now that you got the products, you got the story, you got the website, the 24/7 salesperson ready to scale. Now it's all about how do you make your strategy so clear that it's this month I'm doing this, then next month I'm going to be adding this and doing this every single month, so you know you're every step of the way. So you're never kind of doing too much at one time, and you're only focusing on the important things that need to be focused on right now because everybody here is obviously busy. So that's the more orders model, and that's what we're going to really help you nail today. So I see Paul has just jumped away. Do you know if he's selected any any brands before he just left, Chris?
Yeah, he was going to chat to Evan, I think.
Yeah, I think he's tagged me. So
he's tagged you. Sorry, I just can't see the
yeah,
chat.
all good.
So
no worries.
Evan, all right. Well, while we wait for Paul, mate, what would be good is why don't you just give us a bit of an intro to your business and maybe let me have a look, see if I can find a link. Could you just link it again in the chat, and that way I can
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Until Paul gets back, I'll just pop it up, and so we can all
All good.
see it. Perfect. And then
Awesome.
just you can give a bit of a introduction. Yeah, go for it, mate. Start introducing.
Yeah, sweet.
Up.
Like full Alcoholics Anonymous style. Just my name's Evan Corrie, and so I've owned a push bike shop for 20 years in North Queensland in Mackay. It's a family business. Obviously, we're here 20 years later, so we're quite successful locally. And just in the last 2 weeks, I've developed basically started the website 2 weeks ago. Just we've dabbled obviously websites before. We've had a little bit of e-commerce function, but nothing that synced autonomously with our point of sale system. So no sort of synchronization there. It was quite disjointed. So I've been able to pull myself out of the front side of the business and work on this over the last month or so. And it's all sort of synced to our back end, which is super important to make it actually work because I don't want to sell a bike online that I don't have on the floor or vice versa. So yeah, I just very, very early phase developed the website and just looking to how to continue to improve it in this early phase.
Awesome. All right, cool. Let's have a look here. So my screen is sharing, right, boys? So let's get into this.
This is yours, not mine. Yeah.
yeah, not yours. All good. So now I know that we're on desktop at the moment. So obviously most people use mobile, but we're going to do this exercise on desktop, and I'm going to walk you through the various parts of the more orders model. So now a couple of things. When people land on your website, basically what happens is, let's assume, again, this is a desktop because this is what it is, but here is where all the important stuff lives. So I'm going to draw all over my screen, and I'm going to do some boxes down here and more, and another one, and another one, and another one. Right. So what you need to do when people land on your website is you need to get them to say yes in their mind as many times possible as they can. So what I mean by that is I'm talking about your story. So for example, I land on this website at the moment, it lands me straight into the products, right? Now, what should be happening in this box here, there should be a thing called a H1 tag, which is, I'll just write H1 for the purpose of this exercise. This is where the H2 goes. And this down here is where all your trust statements go. And here is your announcement bar. So this is a very, very small part of what we do when we coach brands to do this properly. But for the purpose of this, we're going to do it together. I'm going to actually help you rebuild all of this stuff on the site live. So now what we're aiming for is you want someone to read that and go, yep, and that, and go, yes, and that, and this, and that, and that, and everything. And the more yeses you get, the more likely they are to then scroll down and buy your stuff, right? So, and more importantly, whatever we end up saying here is also what we end up saying in your ads, your meta ads, your Google ads, your email marketing, the sign outside your shop, like the triathlon event that you do, the mountain bike event that you do. So we talk about your stuff properly. Sorry, guys, can you mute whoever that is talking? iPhone, someone. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn off the graffiti all over my screen, and I'm going to jump over to this system. So you'll see me use, hang on, I'm still ticking my screen. Turn that off. Go over here. So you'll see me talk about this thing tonight a lot. This is the More Orders Command Center. So because at the end of the workshop, I'm going to show you how to get access to it, and you can come and use it, and it's amazing. So Chris and I have been working on this for about 15 months now. Most of you probably use ChatGPT, you probably use Claude, you probably use 9 other different systems at the moment to try and do AI stuff, and it's probably AI slop, and it probably sounds terrible. So this thing basically is trained on how I build businesses, right? So it's trained on how I would do your brand strategy, and Chris would do your brand strategy. It's trained on how we would do conversion rate optimization. It's trained on how to run an ad. It's trained on how to sell you more of your best selling product, right? It's trained on, at the moment, 208 specific topics, such as like how to build a bundle, how to audit, spy on your competitors, how to pick a winning product, how to scale your best selling products. Everything you can think of that you would ask me is if you were sitting with me at my kitchen table, it'll give you an answer to that question. So we're going to use like 3 of the tools in here tonight. We're going to work on Evan's new H1 and new H2 and nail it for him. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go headline generator, and I'll come into here, and first thing we want to do is grab this, grab that. And again, when I say this is trained on how we do this, behind every one of these prompts, right, there is probably 20,000 word instruction that sits in the admin section of this system that enables us to do this accurately and correctly. So what this will do, it'll actually come up with a new H1 that has what we call Google search volume, which means people will actually go to Google and they'll search for that. It'll actually like sound exciting. It'll be like, it'll do all the good stuff. So let's get into this. And I need to work on H1, H2, and 8 trust statements for this site. Is there any existing words on the site at all? Nope. No. Have you got an About Us page or something, Evan, hidden somewhere on the site? Anything?
No, I don't, but I do have one in the works from our previous website, which gives a background on our business and ourselves.
All right. Can you give me some of that context? Like, so how long is Corey? It's Corey or Corey? Cycle's been around.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah. So the business, we've been in business for 19 years. Opened in 2007. Myself and my brother, and our family's been involved in cycling for 80 odd years in the local area. So.
Okay. What else? Why should I buy from you?
We focus on community. So very heavily involved in the local sporting clubs and also events. We try to encourage reasons to ride a bike rather than reasons to buy a bike, and the buying the bike sort of comes as a byproduct of reasons to ride it. So that's kind of our focus.
Talk to me about that. It's like fitness and well-being and community and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so a big part of what we do is in, like I said, in events, and also just week-to-week rides through the community, whether it's kids events through to high-end triathlons and road and mountain bike events. We're sort of across all those different areas locally, and everyone that works at the store all rides bikes. So it's kind of what we do.
Triathlons. I have like a giant TCR something or other sitting in my roof that I was training for an Ironman like 10 years ago until I broke my arm, and then I realized I probably can't lean over on a bike for 180 Ks?
180 for an Ironman,
yeah, with like 17 screws and I've still got it in my arm. It's a beautiful scar, and I'm like, there goes my Ironman aspirations. So
well, you don't use your arm to ride a bike, arm to pedal, so Get back out there,
leaning
mate.
forward and the jarring. Yeah. Oh, after this, we'll buy a new one. So,
Okay.
triathlon. Do you do BMX as well?
We do, yeah. Race
BMX.
and street.
Race and street. Yeah, cool. I did that too. Race and street. Yeah. Vert and that kind of thing, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's start with that. So I want to preface this by saying, like, when we do this for smaller brands, like we use a tool like this to do it. When we do this for big brands, you all get to sit with Chris McQueen on Zoom for like 7 hours, and he asks you, how many questions do we ask, Chris? Like 300 questions or something, right? And I might even show you
not 7 hours straight, just 7 hours over several sessions.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
People do enjoy it. I usually go, oh, it's great. I love staring at the mustache for like 3 days. So, but when you dial this stuff in properly, it is a game changer for your brand, because people like Evan know how to talk about his business like off the back of his hand, right? You know, like everyone goes, yeah, I know why to go there, blah, blah, blah. But none of that stuff ever gets transferred to most people's websites. So it's the first thing that we do, because when you want to start running ads on the internet, you need everybody else that works for your brand to be able to communicate just like you do, right? Because if you don't, all that happens is people go, oh, didn't really vibe with the brand, didn't really relate to the story. Like, I'll go somewhere else, right? Because everyone else has got more marketing budget. We'll do more time. We'll put more effort into this. So let's give this a second. So what this is doing now, A, it's going through the prompt. B, it's going through the site. C, it's looking at all the information about CorioCycles all over the internet. It's looking at reviews. It's looking at anything else you can find online. And it's going to come back, and it's going to, hopefully, hasn't let me down yet, but it's going to come back and give me like 3 or 4 different H1 options, H2 options, trust statements, lots of stuff, right? So let's have a look at this and see what it said. All right, so let's go back to the top for a second. So it's in Mackay, right? Bike shop since 2007. You sell, we do everything. Audit, options, yes, H1. More than a bike shop. Cycling runs in the Corey family. Bike stuff for everyone. All right, cool. So let's have a look here. So I think the H2 is probably reasonably close to what it should be. Like bikes, gear servicing, and local rides for families, commuters, and mountain bike, BMX, road, and triathlon riders. It's probably close to where it needs to be. Mackay's bike shop since 2017 is 7. Is not probably what I want for that. So we're going to keep working on it. But these things are probably accurate. Let's backtrack to the H1 for a second. So I need the H1 to be more of a compliant, yes type statement, and it needs to have considerable search volume. I'll also say, right, as you see me doing this here, when you all make an amazing decision and join the e-commerce circle coaching community, this is the stuff that we do all day, every day inside the community. So I get on there and you go to like the brand call or the messaging call or the meta ads call or whatever it is. And we do this stuff live in there for like an hour a day, every single day. And we help people like Evan go, here's what you should be doing with that particular piece of work on your website, right? So, but you also get 24/7 access to this site as well. So is most of your audience like Mackay, but it's Mackay, isn't it? Mackay based?
Yeah. We've predominantly just been a local business. So Mackay, Alley Beach, out to the coalfields. So, yep.
Okay, right. So you could probably run with something like, your local Mackay cycling store. Like it's not, I'd give myself like a 5 out of 10 for that, but it says what it is, right? So you go, it's local, it's a cycling store. Because when there's probably something like 10,000, 5,000 searches a month for the word Mackay cycling store, right? So they read that and they go, yes, or bike servicing and cycling support in Mackay. So you read that, there's probably like 3 yeses inside of that. You read this, from First Kids Bike, mountain bikes, BMX, road, and triathlon. CorioCycles helps locals keep riding. So all we're trying to do here is this statement here now lives here, right? And the H2 lives here. and I haven't done the announcement bar yet, but all these trust statements go down here. So if I go back here for a second and I show you, oh, hang on. God. These things. So if we go locally owned since 2007, people read that, tick. A brother owned bike shop. They go, that's fantastic. It's not owned by like some rich people in China that have invested in the brand and taken it over, like, or Giant owned it or whatever and like wrecked it, or whatever. So 80 years of family cycling, full service bicycle store in Mackay, professional workshop. We do everything supporting locals, bikes for kids, families, commuters, and races. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 8 yeses. And you read this, you go, another yes. You read that, you got like 5 more yeses. See where I'm going with this so far? And because you've got like caught 15 yeses so far, then what happens is people scroll down here, right? Then what they're looking for is what I call a unique selling proposition. So again, you come back into this tool and I would go, now I need a USP for the page that is about 90 words. It's worth noting, like, you can actually just go back into browse assistants. An assistant is just, in the world of like ChatGPT and Claude, it's just an agent, right? So it's just been trained to solve a problem for you. So you can come through and you go, hey, write the USB, use the USB agent, or write the announcement bar, use that agent for that thing, right? And it'll give you a really good answer straight away, or it'll give you a good enough answer so that you can come in here and you go copy and paste, post it into our e-commerce circle coaching community. And then we'll go, hey, Evan, yeah, that's good, but change this. And you'll be like, great, done. Right. But if you went to a big, massive marketing agency outside of my world, you'd probably pay 10 grand to do this more. Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would be.
So is this H1, H2 positioning and the USP, is this about sort of optimizing for search on Google or for the trust of the customer, or both?
Everything. Yeah. So for example, this is what Chris spoke about before, Nature's Boundary Supplies. Right. So these guys just had their, like, is that them? Yeah. Record month last month, $167,000. When I met them here, when they're doing 18 grand a month, like, they had no brand messaging and their website was converting at $18,000 a month. So I met them here, or even earlier, about then. And I'm like, we need to fix your brand. We need to fix your story, which is what I'm kind of giving you for free right now. And then we need to rebuild your website using my high converting framework. And this is the result. The only other thing they do really well is Meta ads and Google ads. And they've gone to that. Same thing with this brand here. I met her when she was doing $29,000 a month. And I said, Liz, we need to work on your brand message, and we need to work on your website, and we need to work on your Meta ads. Last month, I wasn't going to correct Chris before, but they just did $341,000, not $250,000. This is the effect of having what the more orders model does. And I know not everyone wants to get to those numbers. Like, most people go, man, I'd be happy if I got 10 grand a month, but it's the same thing. This is the principle that we use for all of these brands, right? So let's come back here. So for example, that's their H1, Australia's cleanest collagen and protein. People go, that's good, because most of the collagen that you buy at the supermarket is full of shit. Like, it's full rubbish for you, right? So you read that and you go, yeah, and it's for active Aussie families. It's clean, quality, affordable, daily nutrition, and like, that's it. Start here. Then you come down here. It's made for Aussie families, pure ingredients, 100% clean and healthy. Then you come down into this section and there's your USP. Then you come back up here, free shipping, all the good stuff that like should be going onto a site, right? So they're probably missing this USP that I was talking about. But for you, I'll just put something like that in there. Corrie Cycles is Mackay's local bike shop, helping riders find the right bike, not just buy one. Brother owned and operated since 2007. The story is backed by 80 years of family cycling experience and genuine focus on the local riding community, from kids' weekly rides to mountain biking, BMX triathlons, and everything in between. Corrie Cycles supports every stage of the ride, blah, 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 blah. People go, sounds good to me. Sounds better than like, hey, come and buy a bike from Barry's bike shop down the road. Right? So really, really important that we nail this. Is this making sense so far?
Yep.
So now, because when you guys do this yourself inside here, there's a whole system. You go through here, you use the brand playbook. It asks you lots of questions. When it loads, give it a second. It's loading a lot of stuff. Like Chris McLean, who's on this call, the mustache guy, he made this process, right? So it's super thorough. It's amazing, really, really good. So you go through, you answer all the questions. It helps you do what I'm doing. So Now, I reckon that's on the right path there. I will say, like, so you've only just recently launched this site, haven't you?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Well, we haven't actually launched it. We've put it online, but we haven't actually done any promotion around it or anything yet.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, now Darren always says, I know you've spoken to Darren. Darren's always like, be nice. People have a good crack and try to build their website. So you look like a great bike mechanic. I'll say that. So when you build a website, website, there's an order things need to go in, right? So you kind of got the order a bit wrong at the moment. So for an established brand like you, like my recommendation is like, let us build the site in the right order, say the right thing, doing the right flow, because like you've probably got tons of traffic already coming to your site already. You know, like people know who you are, they're ready to buy, they're ready to do the thing, but your conversion rate, obviously the site's brand new anyway, but it will be very low at the moment, largely because throughout the site, all of the conversion elements that should exist, like on a product page and on a home page and on a collection page and in a cart, are kind of missing. So for example, if I go into here and I click on this tool, so this is when we talk about the store, right? We spoke about the story. Now we speak about the store. So for example, if I go here and this is the thing I've invented, you go in here and you go product page. Your product page should have all of this stuff on the product page, right? I won't click all of them, right? But there's a lot of things. And then you go to your homepage. Your homepage should have, I'll go back to the top. So there is 95 things that are absolute musts on a homepage. There are 171 things that should be on a product page. Another 70 things that are on a collection page. Most off-the-shelf themes that you buy from Shopify, such as Dawn, Impulse, Turbo, Enterprise, all of them, they don't have them, right? Why that becomes such an issue for you is when you start to try and grow your brand over time, you're sending all this traffic to a site that it converts, but it doesn't convert as good as it can. All right. So it costs you a ton of money. It would be the equivalent of like Evan hiring a average salesperson, person who's average at sales. And then people come to the shop and you go, I convert to like 30%. I'm like, well, that's crap, right? I go, if you could get that person converting at 60%, and they're converting 10 bike sales a day versus like 6, you go, it's way better for business. So, because I'll illustrate this point. We go here, ChatGPT. Everyone knows ChatGPT, you use this tool and it's pretty good at maths. If you don't mind me asking, Evan, like roughly, do you know how much, let's do this from a completely different angle. How many people come to your physical store a month?
In a month?
Yeah.
800.
800 people come to the store. How much on average, and you can make this number up if you want, how much on average do they spend with you?
Our average sale is around sort of $200 to $300.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. So we're going to do this exercise that's a bit different to normal. So Evan runs a very well-known store. He gets 800 people a month to his retail shop. Let's assume he also gets 800 people a month to his e-commerce shop. Now, on average, he converts at, call it 2%, right? At the retail shop. Actually, you know what? No, change that. Let's assume he converts at 30% at the retail shop, and the average order value is $250. Now, let's also add into this mix those exact same numbers, except that his e-commerce store only converts at 1% at the moment. How much money does the physical shop, how much money does the retail shop, the online store, make at the moment? I'm going to go with this and I'm going to show you why this is so important. Normally, I wouldn't talk about the retail shop, but I think it'll make a lot of sense when we go to it. So physical store, 800 people, conversion rate, 30%, orders per month, 240, average order value, 250, monthly revenue, $60,000. Whether that's close or right or whatever, like could be completely wrong. Online store, 800 people, 1% conversion rate, orders per month, 8, average order value, 250, and monthly revenue, $2,000. Like online store, terrible. Like you'd be like, oh, that's crap, rubbish, right? So now let's change a few things. Now what we want to do is let's assume the conversion rate of the e-commerce store is actually 3.5% and the average order value is $600. So all we've done is like we've doubled the average order value, which is what should be happening anyway. And we've improved the conversion rate by like 2 and a bit times, 3 times. How much more money would Evan's online store make over the course of every month, and then over the course of 1 year, and then over the course of 2 years? Put that into a graph for me. Why I do this exercise, because I meet a lot of people and they go, oh, websites are too expensive, blah, 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 and I don't want to build a new one, and da, da, da. I'm like, okay, let's look at this though. So currently it's $2,000 a month, right? And all we fixed now is made your conversion rate better, your average order value better, more orders, and now you're doing $16,000 a month. And again, these numbers are tiny, like really small. But when we do this over the course of like 2 years, if Evan keeps using this site that he's got at the moment, right, he's going to make whatever he's going to make there. But if he goes with my new formula, right, he'll make an additional $403,000 in sales from that site, right? Where this also massively affects a retail shop is a lot of people will drive past your shop and you close, right? And they'll go to your e-commerce site when you're asleep or whatever, and they'll go, oh, I'm not ready to make a conversion on the site. I might go somewhere else, right? So you can't scrimp on the site these days. You absolutely have to have a very high converting online store that supports a retail shop, because then you can get results like this. So when I do this with some brands, they go, hey, I do 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month, and via my physical shop, and my conversion rate at the moment by my online store is like 0.08% or something terrible, right? So, and when I do this for them, I go, hey, over the course of 2 years, you're going to make an extra $1 million in revenue, right? So really, really important. So even for those of you that are new, that are small, whatever brands, right, please just, have these two numbers that are kind of in your head and go, okay, I get it. Like, not doing anything and like just leaving stuff the way it is going to like hold you back forever and cost you a ton of money. Any questions about this so far? All right. So what we might look at here is, I'm going to spend a little bit of time anyway on your product page. So if we go here, what's your best selling bike at the moment, Evan?
In the store, probably a Giant Talon 4, which is a slightly lower price point than that one.
Talon 4. All right. Do you get reviews from people in the shop for the bike?
Yeah, we do. Not product reviews generally. Obviously, we get Google reviews and whatever else.
Okay. All right. So, for example, one thing that you would absolutely should be doing is you grab this and you go back into the command center. And I wouldn't normally do this on the call, but sometimes I just go rogue and show you extra cool stuff. So, come in here and you can literally do this. Why aren't more people buying this bike? All right. Give me the best tool to find out why. So what this will do, it'll go through the system. It'll find like 5 tools that exist in the command center, and it'll literally audit that entire page for you. And I'll pick one of them in a second. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to pick a different one. I want this one. Bounce rate. Or this. Tell me why people aren't buying this. So again, just to be really clear, like you probably have a lot of people going to that page. They go there, there's the product name. There's no short description. There is no social proof. There is no sizing guide about how do I pick the right size. I can see that there's only one left in stock. I can't see that there's a live chat. There's no phone number for me to call anything. There is missing probably all of the other stuff that exists on this page. And these are some of the reasons why people are unlikely to go and buy that product from you, right? But then there's also these other things. So let's have a look here. Yeah, Command Center, someone's asking. Command Center is different to the converter kit. Let's have a look. So what this does, it finds 20 things that it thinks are wrong. Let's have a look here. I'll let my voice have a rest before it, as Chris reminded me before, he goes, don't talk so much, it just bloody voice dies. Feel free to talk for me, Chris.
I can't do as good a job as you.
I wish honest. Employee of the month, guys. Serious. Chris Villado. All right, let's go up to the top. So let's have a look. I want to, again, the reason I'm saying this, because no one ever teaches you guys this stuff. Like, you go meet Raj on Fiverr, he builds your website for like $2,000 and you think it's great. Then you go get a meta ads person and you pay them $2,000 to run your ads and they think they're great. And then you go and do all the other stuff that you get sucked into doing. No one ever tells you to fix your story properly and your store before you do all the other stuff, right? Because like Evan solved the product problem. So when we spoke about stock, he sells well-known products. I assume he's got reasonable margins. He's got a great brand story. He's sorted on stock, right? But in terms of his store, if I rate it out of like a 10, it's like a 2 at the moment, right? And the story is non-existent. So we fix those two things. And it's like pouring like fire on his brand. It's like the Iron Man gets to the 13th hour and you give him a sneaky Red Bull and like off he goes again. You know what I mean? So I can say that because I did that to my father-in-law years ago. He was doing the, where was it? Talpo Iron Man or something. He's like, I need a Red Bull.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can do this. Anyway, but let's have
Whatever works.
Whatever works. So the problem, so there's no like why buy from you. We spoke about that already. The size, there's no information about the sizing. The problem is more about sizing. Only one left in stock. Yes, that's a problem as well. What else have we got here? Things around safety, like that you check the product before it leaves. Like we do a full check. Is that on the site somewhere?
Probably not.
No. So all of these things are literally objections that customers never tell you, right? But they think these things. So these are no's in people's heads, right? Like, I'm not buying that bike because how do I know that Evan's checked it? I'm not buying that bike because like, how do I check the size? I'm not buying that bike because what if I can buy it from Barry down the road for tomorrow for $3 cheaper? I'm not buying that bike because like I was confused about the helmet. What about the warranty? Does Giant cover the warranty or does Evan cover the warranty? So I won't keep going, but all of these things need to go on every page in the right order for you to sell the maximum amount of bikes possible. Does this make sense?
Yep, 100%.
Questions about any of this stuff so far?
How do we access this AI?
We'll
how much does it cost?
It's cheap actually. So I think what you're going to need is a different process anyway. So stick with us until we get to there'll be a division of the road for this journey for you. I reckon we might do this for another brand, Chris V, if you want.
I'm happy to. Which one did you like?
Which one did I like? Who wants to volunteer and give me a really cool brand that is like new? And please don't, ideally not a fashion brand or a candle brand. There's a few brands that I've done hundreds of these for.
Drop your links again, everybody. That way it's just easy.
Let's pick one.
Capricopia.
All right. Come off mute if you want, Kath. Let's give it a go. Kath's got all the trust statements, got 400 of them. Let's have a look.
It's
Kath there? Is Kath off mute?
I am. Hello.
There she is.
Hello. There you go. Can't see you, but can hear you. All right. Give us the pitch.
I've been running a small farm-based business for the last 14 years. I started my website maybe 2 years ago, and I'm starting to get a few sales trickle in, but I want to get a lot more.
Why should we buy the product from you, though?
It's all individually handmade on the farm with my own fresh goat's milk in the soap and my own beeswax from our own bees in the skincare.
Okay. So it doesn't say that as soon as you land on the page. It says natural, paraben, sulfate, palm oil, all of the features, all of the ingredients that you're talking about. Like, ingredients are not trust statements, right? You don't go to the Rolex website and the Rolex, assuming the Rolex website was built by me, I wish, it would say things like, oh, your friends are going to think you're like the coolest dude ever because you own a Rolex. And everyone goes, yeah, I want that because of that reason. Or it's going to say, as used by XYZ billionaire. And everyone go, oh, that sounds good. I want to roll with those people. So what we need to do for you is the same exercise we kind of did for Evan, because most people get stuck in this trap where they try to sell based on features and ingredients and stuff like that, but they don't sell based on what I call status improval. So status improval is things such as like, hey, buy a bike from Evan, and you buy that whatever bike they had on there, and all your mates at the triathlon will think that you're like a pro triathlete. Now, even if you're not, people go, oh, buy nothing because look at me, I'm going to go faster and rah, rah, rah. So you need to sell on status and feelings and outcomes and like growth as much as possible. So let's try and blast through this a little bit because there's a lot going on, right? You got a lot of words, but I'm like, can't even read. I don't know what that says. Sharing abundance or something? My
farm to your skin.
Oh, my farm to your skin. Okay. All right. Let's come back here and headline generator. Do that. Again, guys, like, this is just one of the tools. There's so many that you can use in here to do this, but let's do this quickly. Generate me a new H1 and H2 for this site. It doesn't judge me that I can't type because it doesn't matter anymore. It's 2027. AI is going to take over soon enough anyway, and just like, let's keep going. People ask me on the call, they're like, why have you got a Terminator on your arm? Like, it's got my 5-year-old son's obsessed with Terminator 2, and I, when Skynet does take over, they'll be like, yeah, he likes us. He's got a Terminator on his arm, so I'm already good to go. Let's have a look here. What did we come up with? So, goat milk soap and beeswax balms, handmade, Margaret River, Audit, 5 out of 10. So H2 is already a lot better. Handmade on the Margaret River with fresh goat milk, beeswax, and simple natural ingredients. They're pretty good. Skincare from our goats and bees. No, I don't like them. Where do I want to go with this? Again, what do I want to do here? There's so many tallow brands at the moment and goat milk brands and skincare brands and all of them. Like, you really need to stand out. Let me show you an example of where we've done this. We've killed this for another brand. So, and I won't solve the problem for you. I'll demonstrate this instead. So, and believe it or not, the person that runs this brand is like a lady in her, Chris, how do you reckon Jody is? Like, anyway, so she's the most mild, quiet brand lady ever. But she came to us and she goes, I make soap. And Chris and I are like, your soaps are really good. Why don't you target blokes? And she's like, you reckon? I said, yeah. And now she's selling like hundreds of thousands of dollars of soap, right? Because it says, hench, natural soap for blokes to get their hands dirty. Right. So it doesn't say tallow, blah, 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 made from like unicorn tears or whatever. And it's like literally calling out men. And then it says powerful ingredients, rugged scents, no nonsense skincare. And I use the product. It's amazing. I use it for everything. All right. You come down here, handmade. Well, this doesn't apply to me, but made for hardworking men, natural and no nonsense, bold scents, long lasting freshness, 600 plus Amazon reviews. So you read that, you read this. You read this stuff, you read that, you read that, you read that, you keep going, you read that, right? There's more down here. You read this, right? You keep scrolling, you're still reading, you read all this stuff, and you go, I got like 37 yeses on that page from top to bottom now, and I'm ready to buy all of the soap, right? So this is a perfect case about where she's really spoke to a very specific type of person, and largely that's who she sells to now. Like, it's also to the wives that buy it, the partners that buy it, for the men, and like my wife uses an amazing product. It's the same if you go to her product page. Let's pick one, natural soap. Let's go here and we'll just pick one product. So you go here, 10 people right now looking at the product. There's the product name. Here is what we call a short description. Here is more yes statements. All right. So people read that, go, yep, 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 yep. They go here and they go, yeah. And they go there and they go, yeah. And they scroll down here and they read all this stuff and they go, yes. And then they add it to their shopping cart like this. You get to your cart and you're like, oh, yeah, cool. That might buy another one. All right. Oh, might buy that too. Might buy that too. Now my order value in my cart is $90 instead of $14. You check out and Jody's like, thanks very much. All right. It's the reason she can run meta ads, because she took all of the messaging that we helped her do here. She puts all of this stuff into her meta ads, puts it into her email, she puts it into her trade stand, and people buy it and keep coming back and buying more. Right? That's why we're banging on so much about this stuff. It's the same for every single other brand. You go to like Industrial Shed, which is one of the clients that did 300 and something $1,000. So where is it? Go there, grab the URL. What does it say? So, trusted tool expert, unmatched service, unstoppable tools and tool, blah, 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 blah. People, all the tradies near her read that and go, yep, come down here, proudly Australian, competitive pricing, up to date, 30-day trade account, et cetera, et cetera. I can show you 100 sites like these ones where the same formula applies to all of them. And it's the reason they all have hundreds of reviews and they sell millions of dollars a year. Any questions about any of this stuff so far? I'm happy to sit here for a minute.
No, it looks really good.
Maybe we'll go around the room and we'll just kind of digest this a bit. So there's a few other. Tanya, any questions about this?
No, not so far. It's been very interesting.
Right.
Already have a lot of things in my mind now with all the things that you've spoken about.
Awesome. Right. Connie, Paula, Kath Miller, Winston, Samantha, anybody? If not, we might jump onto the next part of this, Chris, I reckon. How are we tracking for time?
Yeah, good. And great directions to follow. Thank you, Ian. Up to you, Paul. Are you going to share your screen or me?
Yeah, I will. Give me 2 seconds. So, quickly, thank you, Evan, for helping me out with that. And then, let's go into this. So, share screen again. All right, here we go.
Perfect. All
Got the right one, Chris, or backtrack?
Yeah, lovely. Back here. This is perfect. Go full screen if you can. So everybody, I'm going to ask, after going through this, for everyone to be a little bit vulnerable, to assess ourselves, to see where we all stand right now. And I want everybody to rate themselves on, you can just do a red, yellow, green, red meaning terrible, needs to be fixed now, yellow, it's okay, could use some work, or green, I think it's good right now. I want you to score yourself like that for each of these different sections: store, story, and strategy. So for those of you who are running a business right now, I want you to score it based on how you feel your business is doing that right now. And if you're someone who's looking to start a business, I want you to do it based on how confident you feel to tackle each of these things in your new business. So I'll give everyone about a minute or so just to get your answers in. Just try and leave it there below, and we'll just see where everyone stands. It's always good to be able to assess where you are, so then you can figure out how to get to where you need to be. All right, Connie, we got red. Is that as in red for everything? Paula, green.
Green or red.
Yeah, so that's green for store. Go back to the slide, Paul, so people can see. It's a store story. So Paula's green for store, yellow for story, and red for strategy. Connie, yes, red for everything. Yeah, that's completely fine. Yeah, no
Everyone
problem.
else?
I give them time. Paul,
Let's go, Tanya.
yellow. For Paul. Yellow, red for Corey. Yeah, gotcha. That's good. And don't feel bad if you feel like they should be better. We're just trying to figure out where we are now. Green for story, red for strategy. Yeah, and yellow, red for Tanya. Audra, what about store? You're missing store there as well. So Tanya, red, yellow, red for Ryan. Yep, that's completely fine. We can definitely work on that. Well, I think there's just a couple more. Give a couple more seconds. Red, yellow, red for Winston. And red for store. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, thank you everybody for sharing. Keep sharing if I've missed a couple. Feel free to keep going. I just don't want to hold everyone waiting. But there's the reason we asked that is because typically these are the kind of things where like everyone who comes to us, you need to nail them in order to move forward with the store. And I want to ask you one more question. Do you feel like if we were to dial each of those into a green for you, so you had a store that was built to convert, you had brand messaging that was super clear for your business and your product, and you had a strategy on how you're going to build the business over the next 90, 180, 270, and 360 days, do you feel like you could make this business work for you? Just give me an honest yes or no if you feel like you could get success for your business if you nail these things in. So we got Paula, yes. Audra, yes. Tanya, yes. Ryan, yep. Evan, yes. Beautiful. Cool. Winston, yes. Lovely. Well, I agree. Sorry, I appreciate that you agree with me, Paul. Yeah, you can go to the next slide there. The reason being is that these are the three things that we work on with just about every brand. And the fact is that about 90% of all e-commerce brands that start fail within 12 months. They close up shop. And the reason why is because these are the roadblocks that people never overcome. Sometimes people do manage to get pretty far down the track, but it's because sometimes people have their products carry their business. But a majority of the time, you cannot rely on luck. You have to nail these fundamentals. So these are the three things for everyone here. We say this is what you need to absolutely nail in the next 90 days or so for your business. And the thing is, though, it's not just that super simple. Paul, you can go to the next slide. It's not just like it's so easy to do those and then bang, you have $1 million business. The reality is there is a lot of work that goes into doing this, into getting it done. You can't skip this. You can't skip the foundations. So for us, we're not about selling dreams. We're not about just saying, hey, here's a $1 million business, very easy. What we are here to do is to take people who know they want to do this and are willing to put in some time. And what we do is make sure the time that you do put into this business is used efficiently. So we give you the guardrails. So Paul, maybe you want to go over the next slides from here?
Yeah, for sure. So what we want to do now, there's a few people at different stages, right? So first thing we want to do, I reckon, Evan, probably what we'll get you to do is book a call with our team and we'll have a one-to-one chat because I can kind of see where you're at with everything. So Julian and Chris will book that in for you, and you're welcome to stay on and see the rest of this anyway, because you're still going to need parts of it. But for everybody else, there's a lot of newbies on here. There's going to be a lot of newbies watch this call recording later. So stick with us for a second. I want to go through the next part of this as well. So just to be really clear, like for the bigger brands, like reach out to our sales team if you're watching a recording. If you're in the Shopify Australia group and you see this, reach out to our team. For everyone else, keep watching. So now, going to go through this, right? So I've explained the store, I've explained the story, I've explained the strategy. Like, it's common sense that the way we do this, right? Now, most people go, I get it. I know I need to do that. But doing it alone and doing it like, at 9 o'clock at night time when the kids are finally asleep, it's hard to do it that way, right? And it's also hard to follow courses. And most people buy courses and they actually never finish them, right? So what we have done is we have actually launched what we call the Side Hustle to the Serious Store Challenge. So for context, this launched on Monday, just past, but we are still letting more people into this program because it's like incredibly valuable to literally 90% of people that are on this call tonight. So I'm going to go through what this looks like and how this benefits all of you. And even those of you that are bigger, you can still join this and you can still go through this 12-week challenge with us where we will help you dial in your store, dial in your story, dial in your strategy, and support you across the whole journey. So now here's what we're going to do. So again, a few of you have already got your stock sorted. Like Evan has well and truly got a stock. He knows what he sells. He knows his margin. He knows all of that stuff. So for him, he can skip the first week anyway, right? So, but he does need help with his story. He does need help with his story and he does need help with his strategy. More so, if I relate this back to people like Tanya, you absolutely need a lot of help with like the positioning of your stock, your story, your store, your everything. So what we have done, again, like I said, is built this 12-week challenge where over the next like 12 weeks, and I'll say it starts for the next 12 weeks, but we will actually work with you over the next like year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years, because we want to help you continue to dial in all of these things and then dialing everything else that you need to fix in your e-com brand so that you can actually have a proper brand. So I want to talk about what's included in this stuff. So for those of you that come along and sign up to this 12-week challenge with us today, is you've already seen what I do and Chris does on this particular call. So we do, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris McLean, like 8 calls now in the community. We have like, call it 8 or 9 coaches in the community. There is calls every single day. If you can't make a call, you go watch the call recording. We have tons of courses in the community to teach you how to run better ads, teach you how to pick the perfect product. So for people that are watching this live or the replay, some people go, I don't have a product. Right. So there is a 2-hour course that tells you exactly the product that I would be recommending if you're going to just starting an e-commerce business. Secondary. So what else is included in this as well is the moment you buy this is I've shown you the command center, right? So you go into the command center, you get access to everything, all of the tools, all the amazing stuff in there. You can work on your business with what I like to call like virtual Paul who lives in the command center. You can talk to it 24 hours a day and you can get all the help you need. I did loosely talk about the e-commerce circle community before, but I'll go a bit deeper into what that is in a moment. But what we want to do today, and hence why I'm going through this at the moment, is I think we've got like 12 people or 13 people already who have joined the challenge, something like that. We've got a few people that like their siblings come along and so forth, but we have like 4 or 5 spots still remaining that we want to fill by the end of today, basically. So I've covered some of this already, but when you buy this thing today, you get access to all the daily live coaching calls. You get access to all the call recording. At last count, I think we had 430 people now in our community, right? Probably one of the biggest private coaching communities in Australia that is actually full of adults running really good businesses that are paying to be part of our community, because most of the other communities in the space are full of kids that are trying to dropship crap from China, if I'm being blunt, right? So something that I didn't cover a lot on tonight's call, probably because I spent a lot of time on Evan's site, but most of you go get access to Shopify. You go and get the Turbo theme or the Impulse theme or the Dawn theme or whatever that free theme is that you get, right? Now, why this is an issue is because Shopify make those themes so easy to use that Nana can come along and install it and she thinks she's got a great shopping experience, but it's woeful, right? Because it doesn't have all of the conversion rate elements that should exist across all of those pages, right? So again, I'm talking about your homepage, your product page, your checkout, your cart, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what the converter kit is, it's like it's a theme that I've invented that has every single conversion rate element that every single e-com store absolutely needs. We log into your Shopify account, we install it, you get access to like a 2-hour course, you go configure everything else yourself inside of, call it a weekend. If you're good with the computer, you'll have a site, and I can give you demos in a minute of what a site looks like. A high converting site, much like Leah from Sunza that did it herself, or Jade from her brand that did it herself. So you're no longer messing around with a crappy theme that is not meant to do stuff, right? I might just quickly do that and show you. So for example, Leah was in another e-commerce community. She had a terrible site by her own admission. This is the converter kit. She came along, so she went to the call. She figured out what to do from a H1, a H2, her trust statements, her USB, her product pages. You go to her product pages, you go here, you look at it, it's beautiful. It's like, take my money. Or her problem at the moment is she sold out of all of her products. All right. So good problem to have. Right. So I'll say one thing for a brand like Evan's brand, like he could start with this, and many people start with the converter kit. But for established businesses, what a lot of people do is they grab the converter kit. We have a chat in a couple of weeks and we go, hey, let us actually build you a full website, right? Because for a brand like his, being able to take him to hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars a year online, he's like, guys, just sort out my problem for me. But I'm mindful that there's a lot of newbies on here that go, I'm happy to fiddle. I've got time. I want to do it myself. Start with the converter kit, right? And that's included in here. So converter kit is included. All the courses are included. Command center is included. All the coaching is included. Time with me is included for the next year. Everything is included, right? So I'm going to talk quickly about these amazing people, which I don't think we talk about these amazing people enough, but here's all the coaches that exist inside of our e-commerce circle community. So whether you decide to go ahead tonight and buy this 12-week challenge, at some point, hopefully all of you join our e-commerce circle community and you get to work with all of these coaches in the community. Lockie runs ads for 20 of our clients. So does Sophie. Emma is my wife. She is very responsible for building the hundreds of sites a year. You can see people like Shane Thompson. Shane Thompson is one of the guys that came up with Movember. He's worked on brands like Asahi Beers. He's worked at Rip Curl. He's worked at massive brands. I won't go into the rest of the coaches, but our team of coaches are phenomenal. They're in the community fixing your problems for you. So every single person in there, like we have someone that solved your next problem, right? They're all in Australia, except this amazing fellow. He's in Nepal, but like he's an absolute weapon at email marketing. So now I think this is the fun bit, right? So what we want to do is everyone's pretty competitive. I mean, Evan sells competitive race bikes, right? So most people, what we want to do at the end of this 12-week challenge is actually give away some prizes. So we want to give away the best store prize, the best story prize, the best overall strategy, the person who has the best numbers. We have a person who's just a good team player. Like we have people in our community, they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and they have no intention of building $1 million brand, but they have all intentions of being a very good, helpful person in the community and adding value to the community. We want more people like that in our community. So we're going to give away probably like $250, $500 worth of individual prizes to all these things. I will keep going. So who this is for, right? So if you are like Paula, or you're like Evan, or you're like Connie, or you like Ryan Hawkins, right? And you want to build an e-commerce business, this is for you, right? So because most of the people in our community are just like you guys, like they're, having a crack, building a really good brand. Who this is not for, right? I say this to all the people that watch it later. If you're expecting to be a millionaire by next Tuesday and not doing anything, this is not for you. If you want us to build all of it for you, like that is our agency. So as I spoke about the Insightful agency, like we can do all of it for you, just cost more, right? But we can help you out there. If you're the kind of person that goes to this workshop every single week 9 times and doesn't do anything, or you go to YouTube and you watch everything and don't do anything, or you don't come to coaching calls, this is probably not for you, right? This is for people that are trying to build a good business. You only need a few hours a week in part of our community. This is not a full-time job, right? But if you're open about bringing the things that you're stuck on, this is for you. If you want a business that makes you more money, this is for you. If you're coachable and you want to hang around good people, this is for you, right? So now, just recapping, as much as I said, this goes for 12 weeks, right? Everything included in here, you actually get to hang out with us for the entire year. The reason we put a 12-week thing on this is because we want to give you a bit of a deadline, right? So you get to the end of your 12 weeks, you fix all of those problems, you get all of those inclusions, you get all that amazing stuff. Nobody gets left behind. All right, so I've tried to make this as affordable as possible. And just for context, when you buy it all separately, this works out to be like $7,000 or something crazy, right? But we want to give people the converter kit, the command center, the community, the courses, the everything, right? So if you buy it tonight, it's $3,000, right? You get immediate access to everything, right? You can go to all the recordings, go check it out, get to the command center, not sleep tonight, start fixing your brand strategies, do all the cool stuff that you want to do. Super happy also if people go, I need 3 months to pay it off. That's fine. I just want to get as many people into this as possible. So whether you sign up and pay in full, that's fine. Whether you pay it off over 3 months, that's fine. All right. So now I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're at like 13 or 14 people or something in there at the moment. So we have a handful of spots left. At the end of this call tomorrow as well, this will go out to our newsletter to close this offer down as well. And this is not fake bullshit scarcity either. Like, I don't want more than 20 people in the challenge because it's actually harder for us to facilitate that. We want to be able to get in there and be like, okay, people need help at their level. Like, so that when you guys go to the coaching call, like I can call you out in the call and I can actually help you do what you need to do. Right. So, I've kind of covered this already. Again, like just to be really, really clear, like the whole purpose of all of this is that like, week 1, you know what you're doing. Week 2, you know what you're doing. Week 3, you know what you're doing. All the way to week 12. Some people might do all this stuff in like 4 weeks, right? And they're ready to rock and roll. So, but along that whole journey, we're there for you and we're ready to go. So I'll get my team to drop a link into the chat and you guys can sign up to this and get rocking and rolling. As I said, for a brand like you, Evan, as well, like it may be a case where you go, guys, like I might get you to build me a custom site. We have an upgrade path anyway for people like you. So you get the converter kit. If you go, okay, I don't have the time to do all this stuff, you go, cool, well, we can give you the price that's different to upgrade everything and you can go from there. So,
okay.
So what I'd also like to do now is, given there's a few of you that are still sitting in here, most people usually have an objection or a fear or something they're concerned about, or, some people are like, oh, I don't like making money. If I do this, I make it sell lots of stuff on the internet. But if I go around the room, like, what is the number one thing that you're kind of most concerned about happening if you were to go ahead with this? Feel free to hit me up with any questions you've got. Over to you, Evan. You're the only one brave enough to come off mute. Then I'm going to you, Tanya, and then Paula, and then Connie.
Number one, fear.
Or objection. Like, why wouldn't you do this today?
Yeah, I guess there's no reason why you wouldn't do it today. I guess I'm still very new, so I feel like I'm in a development phase, but obviously I see the advantage of this being that I make the right choices at the start rather than at the end and having to change everything. But yeah, I think biggest fear is probably pouring money into something and not getting a return. That's probably the biggest fear. Have
you got a good return in this hour?
Absolutely.
Imagine, so imagine you work with me for 12 months.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you to do this. And let me just say, without being the hero, do you know what I mean, or wanker or whatever, but this is what we do all day, every day in the community. It's like this, we get on a call and we're like, Evan, this is the thing that you should be doing next, mate. And you might go, this is awesome. And I'll come back in 2 weeks because I've got so much stuff to fix and I'm ready to rock and roll. So, but this is the newbie taste, if I'm being perfectly honest. The stuff that we teach in there is even better. Evan goes, I want to get to $1 million in online sales in 12 months. I go, cool. Give me 2 hours and I'll give you the plan. Some of you go, I just want to do 10 grand a month in 3 months. What's the plan? I go, okay, Tanya, do this. It's a bit slower for you. Right. So someone says, my biggest fear would be meta ads and pixels. We run so there's a meta ad call every Wednesday. And there is also a meta ads advisory call every Wednesday. And there is also a whole meta ad channel that you can ask. And there's 2 meta ads coaches in there. So you'll have 0 meta ads issues in the community, Paula. So, and then we offer so that's the teaching you component. Then you go, I don't want to learn. You guys, then we have a setup service. If you want, our team will set it up. It's like $700, set up the whole thing. And then you go, I don't want to do that either. Then we have another thing where we go, run the whole thing for me, right? So for $1,900 a month or something, we'll run all your ads. So we are very much teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
Do it with you, done for you, right? It's the reason we have brands in there that are doing, some brands are spending 80 grand a month on ads. Some are spending $8 a month on ads. We're like, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So
you'll learn from that, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm absolutely confused with that. And it's I'm going through the course, looking at the meta ads with, is it Adrian?
Lachlan.
Sorry. Yeah.
Lachlan.
I've got so many names. Yeah.
Close. Yeah.
Close enough. We're going through that, and the pixels, something went wrong there, and I need some help.
Just post in the channel, he'll help. So you're already in the community, eh? Yeah, so just post in the channel, he'll help you. That's easy.
Oh, awesome. I was thinking of doing a call or two with that, because I feel very confident about my shop right now, with all the help that you guys have given me. And it's absolutely awesome. But the pixels and I've just lost.
Yeah. So all you need to do is just put your hand up in there, post in the general. I didn't realize you're already in the community. Some people come to all the calls, right? But go into the general channel, go, guys, I'm just need help with this, and someone from our team will help you out. That's easy. No worries.
Yeah, awesome. That's all I'm really sort of aiming at. So
okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Tanya, I'm looking at you. Any questions? Or Ryan, I'm going to roll the dice. Ryan, any questions, mate? Thanks for staying on to the end, by the way. Appreciate that.
No questions at the moment. I just, as I was speaking to Chris this morning, I've been with another similar company to yours, and I'm just about my second year of membership is just about to expire, and I haven't even launched yet. So I'm just, yours seems pretty good, but I'm just, am I going to get to 12 weeks from now and still not be ready, and then it's another shiny object sort of thing, and then I'm going to bounce on to the next thing. I've spent the last 3 days working on my website, and this morning it took me 3 hours to move a call to action button to where it was supposed to be, and I still haven't done it yet. So yeah, I'd like to see a full list of,
I'll
definitely
give you
keen
an
to join,
example.
but
Ryan, so based off what you told me with, like, I'm not going to say anything you told me in confidence before, but like what you paid these other guys to do, and you still got a website where you're struggling to move something that takes you 3 hours to do. Part of the
yeah,
challenge we just went through, part of it is that converter kit. And the reason we came up with the converter kit is literally because it's such a waste of time you trying to figure out how to do it. Like we can coach you all day long what needs to go on a website, but the actual how is the important bit. That's exactly why the converter kit is part of it, because when you get to the website part of things, we have our whole list of what needs to go where, and this already has it all custom coded in. So you're not spending time figuring out how do I make a headline this. It's already there. So you
yeah,
just do the good bits because this is what kills momentum. This is why we always tell people like as soon as you can get the solution for the website, whether it's ConverterKit or we build it, do it because that's going to be the biggest time save immediately. So
yeah.
it depends. Look at you can keep going down that way, but you will have constantly these nights where you're spending hours doing one little thing. So
I'll share
So
something
this
else
can,
with you as well. That's really important, right? The reason Chris already kind of said it, but the reason I made the converter kit is because, like I said, now we have 400 plus people in the community. There's a good 150, 200 people in there using the same system. So when you all come to a call with me and I'm like, hey, Ryan, and hey, Evan, and hey, Connie, like go to your product page and change this button. You're all using the same theme in the same system. And you just go, it's easy. And if you get stuck, there's a whole channel that tells you how to do it. There's a whole dev team. There's a whole support team. There is all the other people. So a lot of people like yourself, I meet in other communities, and they probably spent 10 grand on the site and whatever got sold the dream from another coach in the space, right? And they don't know. Most of them are terrible at website design either. So every time you want to do anything, you've got to go back to them just to change anything. So why I made the converter kit work the way it did is because I want to be able to go, Brian, this is your site, mate. I'm like, here is all the training. 2 hours of training is all you're going to need. Change buttons, do this, click that thing. It's changed in 2 seconds. And if you do get stuck, like there's a GPTs to help you, there's manuals to help you, there's everything. And then if you're really stuck, you just put your hand up and go, guys, we'll do it. More often than not, a lot of people like yourself will come to a coaching call that I'm doing. And if you're like, if I tell you to do something and you can't do it, I'll log into your Shopify site, fix it for you. Take you like 2 seconds. So because I see all the shit people like you go through when they've been in another community, they paid 20 grand or something to join the community and like took 9 months just to get the site up and running. And you got told to sell dropship products that everyone else in the communities, got told to do. And you're just like, oh, I'm ready to throw in the towel. And I'm like, ConverterKit solves that problem. Community solves the next problem. Command Center solves all the other problems. And our coaching team solve everything else for you. Right. So the biggest thing someone like you would say when you join, I could quote you on this, right? I'd put like $1,000 on you saying this. You go, wish I had met you guys like 12 months ago. I hear that every single day in the community. Not to be a hero, but that is like, and I said, I wish I had found you 12 months ago. Honestly, do you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't have gone through all that shit. Like all I'm trying to do these days is be the guy that I needed through my e-com journey for all of you. Because like the amount of time and money and shit I wasted in other stupid communities and like bringing in gurus to help me do stuff, like, I want to be that person in the market that like protects everyone from that stuff, right? Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's probably at least one other good coaching community in Australia, but the rest are pretty terrible. And the only one that I would rate as good, the only thing I teach you is meta ads. They don't teach you to fix your site or your story or your Google ads or your email or any of that stuff that we teach, right? Which is not good for most brands, especially a brand like Evans that does, different ranges of bikes and different types of bikes and different types of events and everything. So cool. All right. I won't keep you all here too much longer, but I mean, I'm happy to hang out with you guys. If not, click the button.
I'm going to fly. I just want to say thanks for all the honest feedback and advice. I appreciate it.
All right, cool. Chat soon. See you. Cool. Do you have any final questions, Connie? You're still here. We've got another Kath is here.
No, I just am not ready to start anything yet. I've, neurodivergent and I can only handle one big thing at a time, and I've got a couple of big things happening at the moment. So yeah. I'm just not ready to start anything. But
no worries.
I like the direction. I mean, all I'm thinking of doing at the moment is replacing my income because I probably finished at a job yesterday, just finishing a workers' comp thing. So, you know, I need a few more things to settle, and I'm not sure I have the funds to spend on it at this point in time too because of that.
Yep, fair enough. Yep, all right. Like you can also join the community as well. Like you don't need to get the whole thing. You know, head over to the ecommercecircle.com.au website, have a look at that. Our team will talk to you about that as well anyway. So
that's excellent. Thanks for that.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, for everyone who watches this later on YouTube and on whatever, Shopify tomorrow, if you have any questions, just contact Chris from our team. Or Jules from our team. Thank you for everyone that stayed on all the way to the end. Appreciate you guys being so open and, you know, so open. So, we'll catch you on the next one and we'll chat soon. See us. Bye.
Yeah.